Hello, and welcome back to the William Gomez podcast. I am William Gomez, and I'm grateful to have you here. Today, we arrive at the final episode in this series on Lacanian psychoanalysis. Over the past 24 episodes, we have traveled through some of the most intricate and illuminating ideas in the field. We have explored the unconscious, the formation of the ego, the movements of desire, the structure of language, the role of fantasy, the power of symptoms, the position of the analyst, and the knot-like architecture of the mind. Now, in this final episode, we bring everything together. The aim is not to summarize, but to offer a whole system view of what it means to be a subject in Lacanian thought. To begin, let us return to the three registers that have shaped our journey. The imaginary, the symbolic, and the real are the foundational dimensions of human experience. They are not layers stacked on top of one another, they intertwine. They form the knot that gives each person's psychic life its structure. The imaginary is the realm of images and identifications. It is where the ego takes shape through the mirror stage and through relationship built on reflection and comparison. The imaginary offers coherence, but it also creates illusions. It encourages rivalry, competition, and the longing to embody ideals that may not truly belong to us. The imaginary provides stability, but it can also trap us in images of who we think we should be. The symbolic is the realm of language, law, kinship, and meaning. It is the structure that places us within a world of signifiers. The symbolic shapes our name, our identity, and our relationships. It influences our desires and the roles we occupy. The symbolic organizes the social world. It gives our experience a frame, but it also introduces limits. It restricts what we can say, who we can be, and how we understand ourselves. The real is the dimension that escapes symbolization. It is the raw experience that cannot be absorbed into meaning. It appears in moments of trauma, in overwhelming emotions, in bodily sensations that have no words. The real disrupts our certainty. It reminds us that no system, no structure, no identity is complete. These three registers intertwine to shape the human subject. When they hold together, life has rhythm and coherence. When they slip, symptoms appear, anxiety arises, or experience becomes fragmented. The subject is not a fixed entity. It is created and recreated through these shifting relations. Now let us consider desire. Desire is the thread running through the entire Lacan system. Desire is born from lack, from the gap introduced by language. Once we enter the symbolic, something is lost, and desire emerges as a response to this loss. Desire is never fully satisfied because it aims at something that cannot be obtained. This is why Lacan says that desire is always the desire of the other. It is shaped by the signifiers of the world around us. We desire in relation to what others value, forbid, or idealize. Desire is not the same as need. Need belongs to the body. Demand belongs to language. Desire arises in the space between the two. It is the movement that gives shape to our longings, our choices, and our conflicts. Understanding desire means understanding that we are driven by something beyond conscious intention. Our desires emerge from the unconscious, from signifiers that were given to us before we could fully understand them. Fantasy also plays a central role. Fantasy is not simply imagination. It is the frame through which we interpret situations, the story that supports our desire. Fantasy gives coherence to our longing. It gives us a scenario within which we can feel our desire move. Without fantasy, desire would be overwhelming without direction. With fantasy, desire becomes manageable, even if the fantasy simplifies or distorts reality. Fantasy provides a structure that holds desire in place. At the heart of this structure is object A, the object cause of desire. Object A is not an object we can hold or possess. It is something lost, a remainder left behind when desire is formed. It is the gap around which desire circulates. It is what makes desire feel compelling. It is the reason desire continues. Object A gives desire its shape without ever offering full satisfaction. Jouissance is also essential to understanding the whole system. Jouissance is enjoyment that pushes beyond pleasure. It is the excess that strains the limits of the body and the symbolic. Jouissance is present in the symptoms, in repetitive behaviors, and in situations where something painful and pleasurable intertwine. Jouissance reveals how deeply desire and the body are connected. It shows that human motivation is not simply about comfort. We are drawn toward experiences that challenge us, move us, and sometimes unsettle us. The mind is also shaped by the structures of neurosis, psychosis, and perversion. The structures are not diagnoses, they are ways of describing how the three registers tie together. In neurosis, the symbolic holds strongly. The subject is shaped by prohibitions and conflict that create symptoms. The imaginary and the real remain present, but the symbolic sets the tone. In psychosis, the symbolic tie may be compromised. The connection between the real and the imaginary becomes too direct. This can create experiences that overwhelm symbolic boundaries. In perversion, the subject relates to the law in a unique way. They create a structure that stabilizes meaning through a specific relationship to the symbolic order. This is not moral judgment, it is a structural position. Late Lacan offers a way to visualize these structures through the Borromean knot. When the three rings of the imaginary, symbolic, and real hold together, the knot is stable. When a ring slips, the subject may experience distress, confusion, or fragmentation. Each person develops a unique way of tying the knot, and in many cases, they add a fourth ring, something that stabilizes their life. This fourth ring is the synthome, a personal anchor that helps keep the other rings connected. The synthome is a creative solution. It may appear as a lifelong passion, a repetitive practice, a form of work, a relational pattern, or a meaningful project. The synthome does not remove symptoms. It helps the subject live with them. It ties the structure together in a way that is uniquely suited to that person's life. As we bring this series to a close, let us reflect on what Lacanian psychoanalysis offers us. It gives us a vision of the human subject that is not built on simplicity. It recognizes contradiction, complexity, and inner conflict as fundamental parts of being alive. It shows us that our struggles are not personal failures. They are part of the structure of desire, language, and the psyche. Lacanian thought teaches us humility. It teaches us that we are not fully transparent to ourselves. It teaches us that language shapes us more than we realize. It teaches us that desire is not something we control, but something we can learn to listen to. It teaches us that symptoms are not meaningless, but carry truths that demand recognition. It also teaches us compassion. The people around us are not simply their images or their words. They are knots of imaginary, symbolic, and real. They carry histories they cannot fully articulate. They desire things they may not understand. They encounter the real in ways that leave marks. They repeat patterns not because they want to suffer, but because the unconscious insists. As we conclude this journey, I hope this series has offered you insight, clarity, and gentleness. I hope it has helped you see the unconscious not as something hidden or mysterious, but as something woven into every moment of speech, every desire, every relationship, and every symptom. I hope it has given you a deeper sense of what it means to be human in all our complexity and vulnerability. Thank you for listening. This is the William Gomez podcast. Take care of yourself, stay curious, and I will speak with you again soon.